Tonight's chatter is wild, and we're only talking about what's being whispered online. Nothing confirmed, just the storm that's rolling in. Reports claim Katt Williams went off on Snoop Dogg again. And fans are shocked at the tone, the timing, and the heat behind every alleged line. Emotions ran high across timelines as clips, real or edited, no one's sure, circulated with Katt's voice, warning about political moves and selling out, while Snoop's name trended in neon. One supposed audience member says they heard Katt snap, "I don't do corporate dog tricks," and another insists Snoop's camp shrugged it off as internet noise. "So that's how we playing now?" A voice in one clip replies, tight and steady. "Keep my name out your comedy set." Comment sections exploded.
Yeah. Get your life right. Stop worrying about mine. I'm cool. I'm together.
Families of fandoms split down the middle, and longtime supporters wondered if this is brotherhood breaking in public or just another episode of rumor-fueled reality. Allegations, reactions, and zero clarity. Exactly the recipe for chaos. Did Katt fire a warning shot, or did the internet stitch together a feud from fragments? "Say it to my face, nephew," a voice says in one snippet, like a challenge tossed on a crowded stage. The crowd gasps, cameras tilt, and the story, unverified, refuses to calm down. Rumor mill was already spinning fast when a late-night comedy clip started flooding social media. A dimly lit stage, a crowd roaring, and a voice that sounded too familiar to ignore. Raspy, sharp, and dripping with attitude. "I don't do puppet shows," the voice said. Some of these folks forgot where they came from. Within hours, viewers were convinced they were hearing Katt Williams, throwing shade not at random targets, but at one specific icon of the game. And when certain fans thought they caught the name of a beloved rapper buried in the punchline, the internet lit up like a match dropped on gasoline. Every forum, every comment thread, every fan page, people were suddenly dissecting what might just be the latest round in a long, unspoken rivalry. At first, it sounded almost too wild to be true. These were two legends who had crossed paths for years, shared stages, laughed in the same green rooms, and once seemed to share mutual respect. But the clip painted a different picture. Some said Katt's tone was colder than ever before. Not playful, not comedic, just raw. Others claimed he'd been provoked by something said behind closed doors. One audience member allegedly told a gossip page that Katt stopped mid-set, looked straight into the camera and said, "I don't fake smiles for cameras. I ain't built like that." People gasped, phones shot up, and by the next morning, every entertainment outlet was chasing the same mystery. Was he taking a direct swing at a friend-turned-stranger? In one radio appearance that surfaced soon after, a host asked Katt about authenticity in entertainment. He didn't name names, but his words cut deep. "You can tell when the music stops being for the people," he said softly. "You can feel when the message switches to money." Those who had followed his career knew he'd been on this path for a while, calling out what he saw as phoniness, hypocrisy, and the price of fame. But this time, the focus wasn't on nameless industry suits. The tension felt personal. People who used to stand up for something now
Wind.
Now, on some real though, it's about time somebody said some gangster shit up in here. Hey yo, Katt Williams, when did they start selling pimp clothes at Baby Gap? My nigga over there.
now stand next to whoever signs the check, he continued. The host went quiet. The clip went viral, and soon, hashtags started appearing side by side. One for Katt and one for the other, man caught in the spotlight. Reactions were instant and divided. Some fans said Katt was just doing what he always does, speaking his truth without fear of fallout. Others accused him of stirring up unnecessary drama. The rapper's loyalists argued he'd done nothing but evolve, grow, and adapt to a world that punishes those who stay too real for too long. One fan wrote,
Of course, Snoop has responded to the backlash he received for performing for a Trump event. One of the things he pointed out was that we always stick together. We're good at tearing each other apart, which is pretty constant. It's pretty consistent when somebody gets into trouble. It takes backlash from the community. It's always a communal thing. It isn't any action they took. It is the fact that we can't stay together, that we can't stick together, that it's us always attacking us. But that flies in the face of the reality of what's happening right now. It is not us who are tearing down affirmative action. It is not us who is tearing down DEI. It is not us who are tearing families apart. It is not us who have decided that affirmative action and rollbacks that have been that had precedent for 50, 60 years are gone. It is not us that is doing that. It is, I think most people are disappointed because they saw you a specific way, and you have a right to kind of interpret and do whatever artistically you want to. No one's begrudging you that. But why the attack on the community? Because they disagree.
There's a difference between selling out and leveling up. Another replied, nah, it's all the same once you forget the streets that built you. Social media turned into a battleground of opinions, memes, and side-by-side comparisons of old interviews versus new ones. Through it all, the man at the center of the controversy stayed quiet. No tweets, no comments, no interviews. But silence doesn't stop speculation. It feeds it. Reports started emerging that mutual friends were trying to step in, reminding both sides of their shared history. One insider claimed that they've had issues for years, small stuff, nothing public, but lately, it's gotten worse. No one could confirm what started it, but some pointed to a recent event where the rapper made light of comedians who turn rants into careers. The timing lined up too perfectly, and fans connected dots that maybe weren't meant to be connected behind the scenes.
He's doing all these things.
Just want to say this real quick, not on the political shit. All you people for the federal government that not getting paid right now, ain't no fucking way in the world y'all can vote for Donald Trump when he come back up again. If y'all do vote for him, y'all some stupid motherfuckers.
Are going to be at this thing.
Rumors grew about a private phone call gone wrong. One story said Katt had reached out to clear the air and ended up in a shouting match that ended with both men hanging up. "You used to keep it real," a supposed source quoted Katt as saying. "Now you keep it rehearsed." The alleged response? "You still chasing smoke instead of peace." No one knows if those words were ever truly exchanged, but they felt real enough for the internet to believe them. As the digital dust settled, a wave of support for Katt started building. Fans began resurfacing his old interviews about truth-telling and integrity. "He's the only one who says what we're all thinking," someone commented. Others called him bitter or out of touch. "He's mad because the industry moved on," one critic wrote. But no matter which side people took, everyone was watching. Because in this strange dance between truth and entertainment, Katt Williams had always been the one who danced alone, and the world couldn't look away. When paparazzi caught him outside a venue days later, they shouted questions about the rumors. Katt, wearing sunglasses and that familiar grin, simply said, "If the shoe fits, maybe it wasn't yours to begin with." Reporters laughed, fans screamed, and the story reignited all over again. By nightfall, people were analyzing his tone, his smirk, the words he didn't say. Did that mean it was really about the rapper? Or was Katt just enjoying the chaos, feeding the narrative he knew the world would bite into? That's the thing with Katt. He never confirms, never denies, just lets the noise build. And while he kept performing, ticket sales skyrocketed. Every show was packed, every clip recorded, everyone waiting for the next jab, the next clue. "Say his name," one audience member shouted during a show. Katt paused, smiled, and replied, "You already did." The room erupted. Online, theories multiplied. Maybe this wasn't just about one artist. Maybe Katt was calling out an entire generation of entertainers who forgot what loyalty and message mean. Or maybe, just maybe, this was personal. And that's when things started to twist. Reports claimed a mutual acquaintance had tried to broker peace, inviting both men to an industry event. Cameras caught them in the same room, but on opposite sides. No handshake, no words, just that thick tension only years of respect and disappointment can create. A fan who attended said the energy felt icy, like two giants pretending not to see each other. One journalist described it perfectly. It was like watching history split in half. Quiet, but the fallout didn't end there. New audio snippets appeared online. Unclear, muffled, but familiar voices arguing about loyalty and image. "You changed," one voice said. "Nah," replied the other. "I adapted." Whether real or fabricated, the internet ate it up. Suddenly, every gossip blog had an opinion. Every influencer, a theory. But deep down, everyone knew one thing. This wasn't about money or fame. It was about legacy. And Katt, in his fiery, unfiltered way, was defending what he saw as the last remnants of it. Through all the noise, a quiet truth began to surface. Both men had walked different paths from the same streets. Both had survived industries that devour their own. One chose silence, the other chose to shout. And somewhere in the middle, fans wondered if the real tragedy wasn't the feud, but what it said about the world that built them. Because maybe, just maybe, Katt's warning wasn't aimed at one man at all. Maybe it was aimed at everyone who forgot how to be real when the spotlight got too bright. The buzz only grew louder over the following days. Talk shows debated whether Katt's words were comedy or confession. Clips of his performance replayed across every platform, dissected frame by frame like evidence in a courtroom. One host leaned forward on air and asked, "Did Katt just expose one of the biggest icons in music? Or is he just venting frustration?" No one had an answer, but that didn't stop the flood of opinions. A few comedians defended him, saying he'd always mixed truth with jokes. Others said he went too far. That calling out another legend, even indirectly, was a dangerous line to cross. The other man at the center of the rumors finally made a subtle move. During a live stream, he smiled at the camera, shook his head, and said softly, "People love drama more than they love truth. I got nothing but peace for everybody." It sounded calm, but fans weren't buying it. "That was shade," someone commented immediately. "He's acting cool, but that was aimed straight at Katt." Another wrote, "He didn't deny it either." And once again, the internet exploded, spinning calm words into coded messages. Backstage whispers claimed that some of their mutual friends were feeling the heat. One producer allegedly said, "We tried to get them both on the same charity lineup, but the tension's real. They don't even want to be in the same room." Someone else added, "Katt feels betrayed. It's not about fame, it's about respect." According to gossip insiders, the original spark came from an event months earlier, where the rapper had made a joke about comedians talking tough but hiding behind microphones. Katt had laughed it off then, but privately, people close to him said he took it as a personal dig. Days later, he reportedly addressed that moment during another show. "Some people think talking truth is hiding," Katt said to the crowd. "Nah, talking truth is the only way to stay alive in a world that wants your silence." He didn't mention any names, but the crowd understood the tone. Phones came out, flashes went off, and by morning, the phrase "stay alive in silence" was trending worldwide. The speculation deepened. What did he mean by that? Was it about the industry, or was he warning someone specific? While Katt's comments set social media ablaze, his supporters doubled down. Many said he was doing what everyone else was too scared to do: call out the hypocrisy they all saw. Others argued that he was sabotaging himself again, that every time he gained momentum, he picked a fight and lost control of the story. But to those who followed him for years, this wasn't chaos. It was catharsis. "He's not attacking," one fan wrote. "He's cleansing." Meanwhile, the rapper's circle reportedly tried to cool things off. A close associate said in a podcast, "There's no beef, man. People want to see two black men fight when both of them came from nothing. That's what sells." Yet behind the calm tone, rumors persisted that he felt blindsided. One anonymous insider told a blog, he thought they were good. Then out of nowhere, Katt starts dropping subliminals on stage. And then came the twist that no one saw coming. A private recording surfaced online, grainy audio of two men arguing. It wasn't clear who they were, but the voices sounded hauntingly familiar. One said, "You used to speak for us. Now you speak for them." The other snapped back, "I speak for myself." The clip cut off right there, but it was enough. Thousands claimed it was proof of a confrontation. Others said it was a fake, a carefully edited trap made for clicks. But the damage was done. The feud had crossed from rumor to digital mythology, a story that no one could confirm, but everyone wanted to believe. The entertainment world reacted instantly. Late-night hosts made jokes, rappers posted cryptic tweets about loyalty and fame, and fans started picking sides like it was a championship fight. One tweet went viral. "Katt is the truth teller we don't deserve. He'll go down swinging while others smile for the cameras." Another countered, "Snoop's peace doesn't mean he's weak. It means he grew up. Katt's still stuck in old battles." The debate turned emotional. People brought up past interviews, comparing body language, tone, and even eye movements. Analysts talked about authenticity and fame, how entertainers shift identities to survive, and whether honesty still has a place in a market driven by image. One entertainment journalist summed it up best. "This isn't just Katt versus Snoop. It's philosophy versus survival. One fights the machine, the other learned how to run it." And that statement echoed across social feeds like prophecy somewhere in Los Angeles. Paparazzi caught a brief exchange between Katt and a mutual friend outside a studio. "You still at it?" the friend asked, smiling awkwardly. Katt replied, "Truth doesn't clock out." And he walked away. That clip alone racked up millions of views in a few hours. Then came the interviews. One morning show replayed a 10-year-old clip of both men laughing together, cracking jokes, and calling each other brothers. The host sighed and said, "What happened between then and now?" Nobody knew. And maybe that mystery was part of the reason fans couldn't let it go. As time passed, the tone of the conversation shifted from curiosity to concern. Was Katt spiraling again? Or was he just finally being heard after years of being dismissed as too raw, too unpredictable? Reports surfaced that some industry insiders were quietly supporting him, saying he was risking his career to protect what's left of real artistry. One insider told a magazine, "Everyone in Hollywood's scared of him because he doesn't play nice. He's like a mirror. They don't like what they see." The other camp stayed calm but firm. "We respect Katt," the rapper's manager said in a brief statement, "but the world needs healing, not division." That single line reignited debate. Was that shade or sincerity? Fans argued for hours, picking apart every word like detectives on a case. And through all of it, Katt remained unbothered. He showed up at a comedy club unannounced one night and dropped an impromptu set. Halfway through, he said, "You ever love somebody who forgot how to love themselves?" The crowd went silent. "That's what's happening right now. But I still got love. Always will." The room erupted into applause. Some said he was extending an olive branch. Others said it was sarcasm disguised as grace. No one could tell for sure. The next morning, the rapper posted a photo of himself wearing a bright suit, smiling with the caption, "Still shining." Fans immediately connected it as a response, the unspoken back and forth continuing through captions and stage lines. It became a language of its own, one of glances, pauses, and perfectly timed irony. Behind the curtain, publicists worked overtime. Meetings were canceled, collaborations postponed, and rumors swirled about whether the two camps were negotiating a truce. One blogger wrote, "It's bigger than both of them now. It's about what their feud represents. Two generations, two mindsets, one stage." And somewhere in the middle of it all, as the world scrolled and speculated, the truth sat quietly, undeniable, invisible, and too complicated to fit in a headline. As the noise settled into a steady hum, something unexpected happened. Fans began revisiting old footage, piecing together every shared stage, every interview, every subtle look between Katt and the rapper over the years. What they found sent shockwaves through the community. Clips from early award shows showed genuine laughter and easy chemistry. But as the timeline moved forward, something in their body language shifted. Distance where there used to be comfort, polite smiles instead of real joy. Viewers pointed it out, frame by frame, captioning it with words like, "The moment the friendship cracked." It was eerie, how obvious it looked in hindsight. People started making compilation videos with dramatic music, calling it From Brothers to Rivals. Gossip channels called it the biggest cultural fallout of the year, not because anyone had confirmed the feud, but because it represented something deeper, loyalty fading under the weight of fame. The comments were full of fans torn between sadness and fascination. "You can feel Katt's pain," one said. "He doesn't hate Snoop. He misses the old him." Another replied, "This is what happens when the streets and the suits collide." Within the industry, silence became louder than words. Other celebrities were suddenly cautious about mentioning either of them. One well-known comedian refused to answer questions about Katt in an interview, simply saying, "I'm staying out of that one." Another artist who had worked with both of them said, off-camera, "They're both legends. But legends clash when the throne starts to look small." What made everything even more surreal was the leaked text messages that started circulating. Screenshots, allegedly from an assistant's phone, showed what looked like a heated exchange. One line read, "You changed, bro. Money don't make you real." The reply said, "And broke don't make you deep." The internet lost its mind. While no one could verify the messages, they felt authentic, too human, too raw to ignore. People started quoting those lines like lyrics, turning them into memes, motivational posts, and diss track samples. Reporters tried reaching out for official statements, but both sides stayed quiet. Katt's team said he was focused on his art, while the rapper's publicist said he was choosing peace. But fans noticed how focused and peace both sounded, like code for still mad. Meanwhile, every move they made became a clue. Katt's shows grew even more unpredictable. His jokes dipped into deeper social commentary, his eyes sharper than ever. In one set, he paused mid-performance and said, "Some folks act like they forgot who gave them the map." It wasn't funny. It was haunting. The crowd cheered anyway, unsure whether they were witnessing genius or grief. Then came the charity event, the one everyone had been talking about for weeks. The flyer listed both their names in separate segments. Nobody expected them to actually cross paths. But when Katt arrived, paparazzi cameras went wild. The rapper had already been inside, laughing with other guests, dressed in a clean, neutral suit. When Katt walked in, the air shifted. People stopped talking, heads turned. No words were exchanged, but the tension was visible. Two legends in one room, bound by history and divided by pride. One witness said, "It felt like the whole place was holding its breath." A few hours later, someone leaked a backstage video. Short, blurry, but unmistakable. Katt stood near the door, surrounded by his small crew. The rapper passed by, nodded slightly, and said something under his breath. Katt smiled, a slow, knowing smile, and replied, "Still talking for them, huh?" The rapper stopped for half a second, then walked away. That 2-second clip became the most viewed post of the week. No one heard what was said clearly, but everyone had an opinion. Analysts slowed the footage, lip-read the exchange, and built entire theories around it. The online debate became less about who was right and more about what they symbolized. Katt was seen as the voice of rebellion, raw and unfiltered. The rapper was painted as the man who mastered survival, evolving into the system instead of fighting it. One journalist wrote, "It's not a feud. It's philosophy versus pragmatism, and the world can't decide which one it respects more." Things took another turn when Katt dropped a surprise podcast episode. He didn't name names, but the message was unmistakable. "You can't play both sides forever," he said. "Eventually, the people you're protecting will show you who they really are." His voice was calm, almost mournful. "I ain't mad at nobody. I'm just disappointed that we traded truth for trending." The internet went wild again. Thousands of fans commented that they cried hearing it. Others accused him of manipulating sympathy. The emotional divide only deepened. The rapper responded days later, not with words, but with music. He released a freestyle on social media, smooth and relaxed, where he rapped about clowns chasing relevance and kings who talk too much. Again, no names were mentioned, but everyone knew who it sounded like. The lyrics went viral, with one line looping endlessly across TikTok. "Real ones don't rant, they rise." It was subtle, clever, and just sharp enough to sting. For a moment, it looked like things might spiral out of control. Gossip pages started claiming both sides were gearing up for a full confrontation, that mutual friends had stopped trying to mediate. Then, out of nowhere, Katt showed up on stage wearing a shirt with the rapper's face on it. The crowd went silent. He looked down, smiled, and said, "Don't get it twisted. Legends don't hate legends. They just remind each other not to fall asleep." The crowd erupted in applause. The moment went viral again, this time as a possible reconciliation attempt. The rapper liked a fan's post that showed the clip with a caption, "Respect lasts longer than noise." It was the closest thing to peace the internet had seen in months. Fans celebrated, declaring the feud over. Headlines called it the reunion no one expected. But those who paid attention noticed something subtle. Neither man ever said the word forgiveness. Neither said sorry. They just moved differently, quieter, wiser, like two veterans who had realized the war wasn't against each other. It was against the world that loved to see them fight. Still, the tension lingered beneath the surface. Every public appearance, every post, every lyric felt loaded with double meaning. People began saying this wasn't just gossip anymore, it was history unfolding in real time. And as the weeks passed, it became clear that whatever happened between them, it had changed both men forever. Because in an industry built on illusion, truth, no matter how messy, always leaves a scar. As the weeks rolled on, the storm didn't die, it evolved. What began as a rumor had turned into a cultural moment that refused to fade. Talk shows still whispered about it. Comedians dropped sly references on stage, and fans treated every silence like a coded message. Neither Katt nor the rapper had said a single word directly to each other. Yet the whole world acted like it was watching a live series unfold. Every time one of them stepped outside, cameras waited, hungry for a headline. What made it stranger was how personal it started to feel. People who grew up listening to both of them said it wasn't just entertainment anymore. It was nostalgia, clashing with disappointment. "These were our uncles in the culture," one fan posted. "Watching them drift apart feels like watching family fall out." And that was the truth. For years, both men represented different sides of the same story. Katt, the fiery prophet who never learned to bow. Snoop, the smooth survivor who learned how to thrive in any room. Now, those worlds had collided in public, and everyone had something to say about it. Rumors swirled that mutual friends were planning to bring them together again, this time in private, away from the flashing lights. But insiders said Katt wasn't interested. "He's not mad," one said. He's disappointed. There's a difference. Another insider close to the rapper said, he's tired of being misunderstood. He just wants peace. Both statements sounded heartfelt, yet both carried the same unspoken pain. Too much had been said, and too much had been left unsaid. Meanwhile, the internet refused to move on. Conspiracy threads popped up claiming the feud was orchestrated to promote a secret project. Others believed it was real, a clash of egos and eras. Some even speculated that it represented something larger, a metaphor for authenticity versus adaptation in a culture that rarely forgives growth. One viral post said, "Katt reminds us of who we were. Snoop shows us who we became." Then came the night that flipped the narrative again. Katt appeared on a late-night podcast, unannounced. The host, visibly shocked, asked him about the rumors. Katt laughed quietly. "Rumors? They're just truth-wearing disguises." The room fell silent. "But let me tell you something," he continued. "Ain't no hate in my heart for nobody. I just want folks to stop pretending that peace means silence. Peace means honesty." It wasn't an attack. It was reflection. The internet exploded anyway. Clips of his words flooded timelines, dissected from every angle. Fans said he'd finally spoken from the heart. Critics said he was just keeping the drama alive. A few days later, the rapper posted a video sitting in his backyard, surrounded by smoke and sunlight. His voice was calm, almost tired. "I've been in this game a long time," he said. "People love to see us tear each other down. I'm not feeding that no more. Love to the brother, always." That single line, "love to the brother," sent fans into overdrive. Was that forgiveness? Was it closure? Whatever it was, it sounded genuine. And for the first time in months, the air felt lighter. The internet began calling it the soft ending of the feud. Blogs praised the maturity, saying it was proof that growth doesn't mean weakness. Others argued that neither of them ever really fought, that the whole saga had been a reflection of how fame distorts friendship. One journalist wrote, "Katt and Snoop didn't just argue. They reminded us that art, authenticity, and ego live in constant collision. But just when everyone thought the drama had finally cooled, a new interview surfaced. A sit-down with a mutual collaborator who'd worked with both men in their early days. The interviewer asked what really happened between them. The collaborator smiled and said, "Nothing and everything. That's the truth. They love each other, but they speak two different languages. One screams, one smokes. Both mean the same thing: respect." That clip became the final note the internet seemed willing to accept. Two men, two styles, one message. Behind the scenes, a quiet meeting reportedly took place at a charity gala in Los Angeles. No cameras, no press. Only a few witnesses said they saw it happen. Katt walked in late, wearing his signature fedora. The rapper already there, chatting with guests. Their eyes met across the room. No words were needed. One nodded, the other smiled faintly. That was it. No hugs, no handshakes, just a shared look between men who'd weathered too much noise. For those who saw it, it felt like peace, the kind that doesn't need applause. After that night, things shifted. Katt went back to touring, his shows now filled with laughter instead of tension. He cracked jokes about rumors, about fame, about forgiveness. "You can't stay mad forever," he said once on stage. "Not when you realize the same fire that burns bridges also lights your way home." The crowd roared with applause. Across town, the rapper performed at a festival, ending his set by saying, "Stay real, stay kind, stay you." No one missed the subtext. The story slowly faded from the headlines, replaced by new scandals, new stars, new distractions. But the market left stayed. Fans still talk about it like a modern-day parable, a story about pride, pain, and the long road back to understanding. One podcast summed it up perfectly. In a world built on noise, silence between two legends spoke louder than any diss track ever could. Maybe that's why, months later, When a fan yelled from the crowd, "You still mad at him?" Katt just laughed. "Nah," he said with that sly smile. "We both just told our truths in different keys, but the song's still the same." And just like that, the feud that had once consumed headlines turned into something else entirely. Not anger, not rivalry, but a strange kind of mutual respect, born from chaos. It reminded everyone watching that behind the bright lights and viral clips, there are real men, real emotions, and real histories too tangled to untie. And as the curtain slowly fell on the saga, one thing became clear. Some legends don't need reconciliation in words. They find it in the silence that follows the storm. And that's where things stand. Two icons, one story, and a lesson the entire culture can feel. Maybe it was rivalry, maybe it was reflection, or maybe it was both. But one thing's for sure. When legends speak, even in silence, the world listens. Fans are still debating what really happened, still replaying the clips, still arguing in the comments. Was this all just miscommunication? Or was it a message about fame, loyalty, and how far people drift when the lights get too bright? That's the question echoing long after the headlines have faded. But here's where you come in. What do you think really went down? Was Katt Williams simply standing up for honesty? Or did he cross the line by airing what should have stayed private? Did Snoop play it smart by staying calm? Or did silence speak louder than words? Drop your thoughts below and tell us which side of this story you believe. If you enjoyed the breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and share this video with someone who remembers when these two stood side by side on stage. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest stories, breakdowns, and behind-the-scenes moments shaking the entertainment world. This is where every whisper becomes a headline, and every headline becomes a story worth telling. Stay tuned, stay curious, and as always, we'll see you in the next one.